Good morning, afternoon, evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Sandbox Game live stream for Wednesday, April 28th, 2021. My name is Joseph, the Vision X Matting. Alongside me through the magic of the internet, Mr. Spicy Royale with Cheese, the champ that runs the camp, Alex Kamisaze Flores.
Thank you, Joseph.
I always love to mix that one up every week. Each and every Wednesday, right here on youtube.com, Twitch TV, Theta, DLive, Facebook, and twitter.com/the Sandbox Game. We play the games that you publish to the gallery using the Sandbox Game Maker. If you're watching live with us today, you have a special opportunity. During the stream, feel free to ask us anything. Questions about the Game Maker, maybe our asset creation software, VoxEdit, questions about the Metaverse, or anything else that you want to know about the Sandbox. We'll answer these questions live as they come in. And for those questions that we can't answer live, feel free to click on the wonderful social channels in the description below this video. Tag me after the show on Discord or Telegram, Twitter, or any of our other great platforms, and we will get that answer out to you. Of course, if you're watching this later over on youtube.com, you may want to join us each and every Wednesday starting at 2100 UTC. That's right. Those watching live have the unique opportunity to win a Wizzy the Blue NFT right here on this stream. More details on that will come later, so stick with us. But for now, let's get into the start of each and every week. Time for some news.
All right. Well, number one on our news is that the remaining plots of land from the premium land sale were switched to regular and sold out within 1 minute. So there's still definitely a lot of demand for land. That was very exciting. Joseph, number two, what's up with you?
Yep. So we now have an NFT claim page. If you have been eligible to have picked up an NFT for any number of reasons, some of the criteria for these NFTs you can now redeem on nft.sandbox.game. Include the coin market captain if you had purchased all 5 CMC heroes and held them before the 18th of February. Or you can redeem Wizzy the Golden, which is similar to the Wizzy the Blue NFT we give away on live streams. But you must have staked in the Sand ETH liquidity pool at some point before the 25th of January. The Smiling Smurf was available for all landowners before and on the 12th of December. So if you owned a piece of land, you may be eligible to redeem that NFT. And Inspector Gumshoe, which was a previous Discord treasure hunt. So those are available now. What else have we got here, Alex? Number three.
Number three is we have some NFT drops going on. So first one is Braun Ilves, I think is how we determined it is said. Has some awesome assets here. We've got dinosaurs, we got pirates, we've got ghost demon horses, some other awesome stuff. So you can still check out some of those on the shop. We have got a second drop that started on Saturday for Manacho. This awesome, I love this wolf child, so cute.
Very cute.
Yeah, this was part of our Halloween project, and I want one. I'm not sure if I can still grab one or not. I'll have to find out after the stream. Somebody save one for me. A kraken, a whale shark, orangutan, and fireman. Awesome stuff. And just went live today. Toby R also has an NFT drop. There's just one left of the Mouse King. We've got Elegant Mermaid, Charred Treant, Nutcracker Soldier, Crawly Treant. That looks terrifying. Turtle Duck, Mimic Chest. This Mimic Chest is awesome. You know what? I might buy one of these during the stream so they don't sell out because this thing is super cool. I mean, check this thing out. It's got a bunch of animations. It attacks. It does it all. So I'm saving that time over here.
Those are available over on the marketplace at sandbox.game. Is that right?
They are right now. So go to sandbox.game, click on the marketplace. You can find all the stuff that's available for sale at the top. Joseph, what is number 4?
Yeah, number 4, back on that marketplace, 600,000 sand tokens have been made by voxel artists on the NFT marketplace in the past 3 weeks, which is a great milestone. It shows an early interest from our community. We want to see that grow, and I believe that it will, based on the great assets that you were just showing here on this. Number 5, sir.
Number 5 is LCX was live in an AMA, and not MMA, with Sebastian.
They were having a fight with Sebastian. Boom, boom.
You can check that out over at the LCX YouTube channel to see all the questions that Sebastian was able to answer. Joseph, number 6. I learned how to count.
No worries. So KuCoin hosted a AMA with Seb as well earlier this week. So if there's some questions that the community asked there that may not have been in the LCX, you can check that out. It is on Telegram specifically. So they posted it over on their Twitter. And again, the links for those will be below. Philippines. Alex, what happened there?
Number 7, in the Philippines, we have got a... Oh, there's audio to this. I'm going to turn that down. We had a contest in the Philippines for VoxEdit. You can check out the winners there. I believe this was retweeted by the Sandbox game, but I'm going to go ahead and retweet it right now, so you can check that out from my Twitter. So see all that. Oh, that's adorable. I actually haven't seen these yet, so some great artwork from our artists in the Philippines. Joseph, what is number 8?
Number 8, creators interview, hosted over on our Medium at medium.com/sandbox-game. You can see the creators interview from Quok, from My Reality, and talking about the studio, how it works, and where they're going in the future. So we will be hosting more interviews like this. In fact, if you're watching on Saturday, you can check out, we're going to have a fun time just chatting with Erica, also known as Science Her Way. She previously hosted a stream on this stream, so she's going to join us and talk about the content that she made. But you can go check out that creators interview from Quok. And then we had a couple more pieces come in just the last day or so. Normally we prepare this throughout the week, but these are more breaking news. Alex, what's the first breaking news piece we have this week?
All right. Well, number 9 is that the Sandbox was actually heavily featured in an interview on Fox Business News. That was an interview featuring Dan Kelly from nonfungibles.com. And we saw all our beautiful lands on full display there on national television, which was pretty exciting. I was goofy and I didn't have my logo on my land. I still have the Doge Elon Lion King nice. Meme up on my land. So you might have caught that on TV. So they talked about Decentraland, CryptoVoxel, Somnium Space, and of course the Sandbox. Very cool stuff. And Joseph, what is our last piece of news, number 10?
Number 10, the VoxEdit Weekly voting for the Mythical Creatures theme has ended. So a reward will be distributed to the winners there, 3,000 sand in prizes. So that'll come up very soon. But it's always worth checking out, even if this is already done. Go back and look at those assets that were created, because there was a lot of cool stuff in there, and it was actually quite hard to decide like what were kind of the top contenders in this contest. So you guys in the community are making great content, and we love to see it.
All right.
Well, Alex, that's going to close up this week in the news, in the Sandbox. And we appreciate you guys coming by. Once again, you can join us live each and every Wednesday at 2100 UTC, where you can interact with us, get in the chat, have some fun. My name is Joseph Matting. This is Alex Flores, and we appreciate you coming by. Now, let's get on with the live content. Alex.
Well,
live content.
This isn't really news, but it is live content. We wanted to show off some stuff that's going to be happening later. Oh, this has audio also.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Very
I didn't
cool.
know about the videos. I got these. So just like
That's
minutes
okay.
ago, I received these videos, and then I'm like, Alex, we got to show this off because somebody wants to do an NFT box drop giveaway, right? And so this giveaway is in partnerships with, and forgive me because this is a French company and I'm not French, so Les Collectionneurs. Collectional. I don't
Sounds
know. I'm bad
good
at
to
this.
me.
You know what I mean? Close enough. So this partnership will be giving away these NFTs that you see featured on your screen, and they will be given away next Saturday. So not only will we do the Wizzy the Blue giveaway that we do each and every week, but we will also have these great assets, and that is normally an animated GIF.
Yeah, I noticed
So
that. I'm gonna see if I
the
can grab that.
no worries. The asset that is specifically going to be usable inside the Sandbox game maker is super cool. It's kind of like that old like army men flag at Iwo Jima, I think is
I
what
have
it
to,
is.
yeah,
Where they
I have to hide
put
Joseph
it
real
all in
quick to
there.
get
Okay, get me out of here.
it. Let's
But it's
see.
beautiful. There we go. Then you can just pull over the Discord and
Ta-da.
run it straight through that.
There it is.
Beautiful.
Lovely.
It's
All
very
right,
nice.
we can bring Joseph back now.
There I am. Wherever I go, there I am.
And I have a feeling I'm pretty sure these are the Winklevoss twins here because they're famous for
That's true.
for boating. What's the I
Really
can't remember
looked
what it's
at it.
called. The synchronized rowing. There's a name
Yeah.
for that, and I don't remember
No,
what it
you're
is
right.
off the top of my
You're
head.
right.
And they've
mean,
got
I'm
nifty
pretty
gateway
sure.
shirts on. I'm not sure who the
Yep.
other people are in here. I see a Binance shirt. I don't. It's spinning kind of fast for me to recognize it. So
Yeah, I'll bet you that we could identify this. So if you're looking at this GIF right now, and you can identify these people, sound off in the comments because it'd be very interesting to. I think that the front one would just be CZ
Crew.
Binance.
yeah, it's called Crew. Thank you, chat. Lucas is right. Got it in there first. Okay, so today is Wednesday. We play games on Wednesdays. So
Yes, sir.
let's go ahead and open up the game maker. I have a feeling there was a game that we were going to try last week and we didn't get around to it, but I am not remembering. So we're going to browse the gallery. But if you have published something to the gallery you want us to try out, shill it in the chat. We are happy to play your games live here. So I'm just going to look around for something. Wow. Songpoo World #1 looks intense. Who is this by? By Songpoo. So we might check that out, unless somebody else has. The two jumping is you both. Is it us?
I don't think so.
I don't think it's
think
us.
that was.
It didn't.
I think that.
It didn't really look like us.
I think that was. It was definitely the Winklevoss twins,
Yeah.
for sure.
No, because they're like blonde, and
Yeah.
Joseph
Okay,
could
that
Joseph
makes
could
sense.
possibly pass as a blonde if his hair is dry enough, maybe. But I definitely could
that's true.
not ever pass as a
I
blonde.
always try to like put a little product in so it doesn't do what it did to me last week. It was so funny. I was in a meeting and this guy pulls up a screenshot from one of our streams talking about like how to increase engagement and do these other kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
And they were excited to use this photo that they used. And I was like, man, this is like the worst hair that I've ever had.
Oh,
You
no.
want to use this? You know what I mean? So it's good to have those. I'm like, I gotta get looking good for our user base. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You guys are important to me, is what I'm saying. So
All right. Oh. Okay.
It's
So we've got the locked camera in this. So this is the except for the flying demons and dropping platforms or whatever it was called.
yeah,
I think this is only the second game I've played where somebody's locked the camera. Oh, there's the Frogger game that Cyber Dragon made. So it's interesting to see more people taking advantage of the different
definitely.
camera controls. I gotta fix the
think
chat here though. There we
It
go.
could be that they were watching on Saturday when we talked about isometric, right?
That's
You,
possible. They might have figured it out on their own too.
Yeah. Oh well, that's.
So,
But if you want to know how to set your camera like that, go back and watch Saturday's stream because Alex showed that off.
So the beggar and his dog says the door will open when you collect 5 keys. So we just grabbed 1 key, and someone killed our lover, who we have to avenge here. I'm not sure if this sign does anything. I think this is an NFT image display here. It appears to be a frame. So that's cool to see more people using that. And I believe this is the locked door that we can't get in. So Let's see what we can find here. Got another wooden door. That appears to be locked also. And this is an interesting way to do mazes with more visibility over where you're going, because I like a good maze, but when it's like in first person or a very close third person, it can be very difficult to navigate without enough landmarks, as you've seen me struggle with some mazes in the past here on the stream. Let's see what we've got.
Yeah, well, not only that, but it kind of gives you that sense of, and I don't know if you're like this when you play a game like an RPG, but I want to check every corner, find that health potion or that in this case, that key, right?
Yeah, like, oh, this dungeon, hey, that wolf attacked me through the wall. That's not fair. This such and such dungeon should take like an hour to go through. 5 hours later, I'm like, I found everything. Collected every single individual coin that was placed on the ground as decoration. That's how I play Skyrim, at least.
What's always funny to me also is when you're playing a game that has a pile of gold, and then you loot the pile of gold, and it's like you get 5 coins.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Or a sack. It's okay.
A pile.
All right. So it's very easy for me to jump on top of the maze here, so I can just kind of use my way through it. You know what is eerie though? Not being able to move the camera up and see what this giant shadow floating above me is a little disconcerting.
Wait, why is the camel trying to kill you? The camel's a jerk.
Camel's a jerk. You gotta watch out. They can spit and bite. And hey, there's a key. So let me make sure I'm just kind of returning to where I was. I'm trying to not skip ahead.
It's interesting. I don't know if the chat agrees or if you agree with this, Alex, but when it's an isometric style camera like this, where everything's locked, I kind of feel like there should be invisible walls so that you can't jump on the maze.
Yeah, well, I mean, in this case, I was only able to jump up because there was a hill that was too close to the walls. So,
right.
Oh no, dead end. I'm too short. I can't jump on top. It wedged me into a corner there. Let's see. We've only got... Can I roll past him? Nope. I gotta fight him. Alright. I love those critical hits when the camera shakes a little bit. They do that final... No! Okay. Alright. So yeah, all I have to do is jump here, and then I can jump to here. Right. Which just lets me run a little bit faster to where I'm going.
Yeah, I would say that that's definitely something to fix, because unless you intend to allow people to jump on sides of the walls like this, you just jump over the cat. Get him, wolf. It looks like a cat from this far away. I've got it in like this tiny viewfinder right now. And
wait, there was a cat? I missed it.
No, the wolf.
The wolf looked like a cat.
Big cat. That's just a panther or something, Like I didn't read the nameplate. That thing, that shadow that's floating is one of those dragons that was recently sold on the marketplace, I think.
Is it? I was thinking it might be that, or there's also like a ghostly wraith kind of thing that it could be. But I think you might be right, because I didn't see any arms on the shadow.
Yeah, it's a bit long as well.
Let's see. I need 2 more keys.
Block. Okay.
Blocks.
Michael Montgomery. You cannot, or archers aren't in the game yet.
Oh, hey.
We don't have ranged attacks, but that is a feature that we intend to bring. Again, we're kind of pretty early on in alpha level of development. We're only in version 0.62 right now, and still have some things to finish with the melee system before we move on to adding the ranged attacks and that sort of thing.
All right, we need 1 more key, and we can get through that door from the earlier area. Let's see. Now, this door, I feel like we can... Oh, yep. There it is, right there. We can just jump around the door.
Smobler, when you are designing your assets, I would recommend that you fill in any void space
Yes.
because the clients are going to render.
Ooh.
Like, if you have a box, you don't want the center hollow. Otherwise, it will be rendered like as if that was important. You're getting the extra faces for no reason, kind of.
Yeah.
So fill those things in anytime you have a chance to, and it's not gonna make it look weird. Plus, it's gonna help with something you would call Z fighting, which is where things appear to clip through each other. If, like, let's say my arm, as an example, at the joint here, if I have a square and a square coming together, they're going to visibly kind of go through each other a bit on this joint, and that would be worse within a hollowed out asset.
Yeah. And the other issue with a hollowed out asset, besides the I stepped on the lava, besides the optimization, is what did I run into? Oh, the grass had collisions on it. So that's something to check out for, is that if you have grass, it's better to not have collisions, or it can be a little confusing. The other thing with hollowing out is that objects can become transparent if the camera moves close enough. I can't show it on this because I don't have any camera controls, but on the regular 3D or a third-person view, when the camera gets pushed close enough to your character, your character will start to become transparent, so that way you can see around them. And that can happen with other assets too. And if you have an empty space in the middle, that empty space will actually be visible as having texture. So it's almost like your 3D objects will have bubbles inside of them, which can be a little disconcerting. That used to happen with the heads of all the characters, because the person who originally designed them had left a little space inside the heads from when they designed the hair, and that is now corrected on any new avatars that you design, specifically because you could keep on seeing the bubbles inside their head, which was just kind of strange. So this door unlocked. At this point, it's a little... I'm not really sure where I'm supposed to go from here. It feels like it kind of opens up everything at this point. And hello, physics.
Nice.
So we've got
that's funny.
somebody who can... I think that's just an NPC. We've got a desert gate, which can open, but we can't go anywhere from there. Let's see. Is this the boss? Maybe this is... It's the Dark Prince. It sounds kind of bossly. But there are more... Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
That's a lot of damage.
Oh no. I gotta go back. Oh,
So,
it's not too far.
Real quick, Orso Blonde, you asked over on Twitch, are you always able to jump from heights without damage? Yes. You can jump from any distance without damage, unless for some reason you were to create a layer where when you first step on it, you took damage. That would be, I would say, very situational that you would want to do that. Like if it was a highly scripted area where the user doesn't realize that it's highly scripted, then you could possibly do that. But by default, you definitely don't take damage when you fall. Michael Montgomery, you said that you recently started using VoxEdit, and if you build a hollow structure, can your character go inside? So we actually showcased this on Monday with Panda Pops. So if you would like to watch the Monday stream, where she is currently building a noodle shop, ramen shop, then you can see how to make a building that is hollow that you can walk in. By default, if you make a really big object, it's going to have collision everywhere where the invisible box is around it. So, apologize for that.
The basement. Okay. So we have a hint here. The demon hunter has told us that the samurai seems to be in the basement. I'm not sure where the basement is. I'm guessing underground. When is preseason 0? Soon.
So let me go back to that question real quick. So
Yep.
the short answer for how to make a building is to make the walls. Design this wall, this wall, this wall, and this wall as different objects, and then use the how do I want to put this? Like the video editor, or it looks like a video editor. Alex, you would know the terminology better than I do. But put the walls together there, and then when you have like a door that you place on it, which should be a separate asset that you could interact with, you place a door on it, people could open the door, they could walk in.
Oh, that's weird. I passed through that hole. Okay. You're talking about in VoxEdit, right?
Yep.
The timeline editor. So you've got the animator, which is the we used to call it the rigger. Now we call it the animator. If you look at the folders, the recent files, it's still called recent rigger instead of recent animator. But the tool is now called the animator. And that is our whole system for setting up keyframes and animations, but you don't have to make objects animated in the animator. You can just simply rig them to create, even like these rocks here were created using the rigging system. They're not animated at all, but in order to get those rotations on the voxels, you need to set them up with a rig. So I'm trying to figure out where the basement is here.
A good distinction too, because I wouldn't imagine that a house is going to be animated, but you could very well make your house animated. If you wanted to make like a spooky house, right? You could animate all the different pieces to like shutter occasionally or something like that. Is there a push-pull feature in the game? You can absolutely make an object pickable, like where you can just take it and move it. But in terms of like slow physics, the client is yet to have those physics interactions. Rather, like the only thing that we have right now is a basic gravity and a basic collision, but not an advanced physics engine, though that is in the works.
Yeah, certainly. So we've got the moving platform feature, which there was a moving platform up these ladders. If you saw earlier, it kind of conveyed me from one spot to another. If I can get back to it, here it is. So with the moving platform, you can do things like, bookcases becoming hidden walls. No, don't die. I fell off into the lava. Oh, come on. It's a little. I'm still getting used to the isometric view here.
Sure.
Not that I don't, goof up and fall into lava all the time anyway, but
there is good and recorded history of Alex falling into lava a lot of times. It's fun.
So that little tile moving, if I land on it correctly, will actually take me over to the other side here, right? Like that. So you can create moving platforms that will be elevators or conveyors, if you will. You can also use them as things like sliding walls. So if you wanted to make a bookcase into like a hidden doorway to a passage, or Star Trek whoosh doors, things like that. You can do all those types of things. You could use it to push items that have physics on them. So let's see if I can find, there were some jars over here somewhere that had physics on them. Let me see if I can find them. Here they are. So there's no weight in the system. Basically everything that you set up like this is like a beach ball. You can just kind of kick it around. But you can do more complicated things with it if you kind of set up guides for it. So if you were to make a tunnel, if you will, out of blocks, and you were to put like a long like one of these columns through the tunnel of blocks, you could use that as like a guide, and then you could actually push things with it. You could run up to it and push the column through the blocks, and that could, on the other side, could cause some sort of interaction. That's something that we could possibly go over on Saturday. You know, how you can play with physics. We've done that in the past, but it's been a while since we've covered it. So if you want to join us on Saturday, remind me to explain how we do things with physics. You do have to be careful with the physics because they can be unpredictable. So if you make a game mechanic rely too heavily on the physics, you want to test them thoroughly to make sure that you're not going to break it in a way where the player is going to get frustrated because they can't complete something anymore.
Right. And to that point, I would say that that's where you as a developer have to use your discretion for when you put something kind of on rail. Because as Alex mentioned, if you want to push an object like it's The Legend of Zelda, in Zelda, at least the 3D versions of the game, you can push, pull, turn left, turn right with an object consistently. So that part of the puzzle is not so bad. But if it is inconsistent, which it would be if you had an open room for the sandbox right now, then that might be frustrating. But if you can take something and give it a sort of a pseudo consistency by making invisible walls where you do have to kind of kick it around, but you can kick it relatively straight, relatively to the left, relatively to the right, and different things happen, then maybe that works. And then I saw some other questions that I want to address here. You Null PC over on Twitch, you'd asked, you were wondering if you become a voxel artist, are you allowed to create whatever you want and upload it to the marketplace, or is that not allowed?
So yes and no. Okay, so I could see that there was a guy in here, but I couldn't get down in there with him, so I started whacking at his head. That was kind of the easiest boss fight ever. But this is a pretty cool start, and I'll have some other notes. But to answer the question about the creator fund, so you can upload whatever you want and test it in the game maker if you have an artist account. But just because you can upload it doesn't mean that it's going to get approved to be published on the marketplace yet. So we do plan on very soon kind of opening the floodgates to UGC, user-generated content, and allow everybody to publish. We just have to make sure we have the moderation system set up correctly, because inevitably we'll have people trying to publish stuff from like Disney and Star Wars and things that we don't have permission to do. And we want to keep the artists publishing that stuff out of trouble. We want to keep ourselves out of trouble to not have a platform where we're breaking copyright laws. So that's kind of the limiting factor there for the moment. But if you are making a game for the Game Jam, Joseph has a whole system for approving your assets to enable them in the Game Jam, and so those assets will get published on the marketplace. Our artists in the Creator Fund and the Game Maker Fund, they can make whatever they want, and they can upload it and test it out in the Game Maker, and they can ask permission from their moderators to make those things public. We don't have like an official system for that in place right now, but I mean we're pretty friendly people, I think. So whoever your moderator is, whoever's in charge of approving your content, just talk to them.
Yeah, okay, let's see. There was something else there. Kirsch, that I think that I don't even have to think. There will certainly at some point have the possibility to have directional physics, like pushing a block. The physics system is being built for multiple purposes. I was in a meeting the other day, and I'm thinking about the social hubs of a game like Destiny, right? And when you're in the social hub in Destiny, you're kicking a beach ball around or a soccer ball, right? And more than what you see here, right? There's like, realistically, there are 4 or 5 different core technologies that had to be built just to be able to kick that soccer ball. Or like a Rocket League physics engine, which is totally different. uses like 8 different layers of predictive and responsive technologies in the multiplayer experience in order to make that work, on top of the physics engine that you keep locally in your game. So there's a lot of stuff to consider, but directional physics will come automatically when those systems do work. So there's a lot of stuff that has to be done yet, and we are again still pretty early, so they will come in time for sure. And then let's see.
So the question about who are the moderators, if you are in a program, you will know who your moderator is. So if you're in the Creator Fund, the Creator Fund is divided up into close work groups. So there's an artist leader in that group who is the moderator for that group. Game Maker Fund, they have a small group of moderators who help out the artists there. So when you join the Game Maker Fund, you'll be in contact through email and stuff. So it's going to be different depending on what program you're in. So right now the marketplace is in a closed alpha, if you will, or maybe closed beta. The difference between alpha and beta is kind of depends on who wants to call it something. So
it's definitely in an alpha phase by traditional game development standards, because you would say alpha means that there's still some development going on, like it's not finished. So when it's in beta, then it's like, hey, we're done, now tell us what's broken, and you're kind of glitch fixing. So
wow, there were two of them. So because we are in a closed alpha state, we don't have open moderation for just anybody, and we're not giving just anybody a access to upload as an artist. Right now we're limiting to people who are involved in certain projects. So if you're participating in the game jam, there's more of them. They just keep coming. They're multiplying. Let me out.
So I'm looking at some of the submissions that have come in over the last couple of days since our last stream in arts. And if you are interested in making your own custom art for your game that you're going to do for the game jam, you have to remember that those arts must be unique. Some of those that have come in, I'm noticing right now, no names or anything, but somebody submitted a orange ghost, a blue ghost, a pink ghost, a red ghost, and they look almost exactly like the ghosts from Pac-Man, and so I cannot approve that kind of content. So just keep that in mind when you're making those, even for this game jam. You have to make sure that the content isn't copyright protected. But other than that, we've seen some great things already submitted, and if you are putting in submissions, make sure you watch the videos on how to submit in the create section on sandbox.game. Click VoxEdit and watch at least video number 3. But there's 2 parts in section 2, section 3 there. That's how to export assets from VoxEdit into the game maker and into the marketplace. So anybody who makes a game for the game jam, which is ongoing until June 17th, after a recent extension, you're eligible to be an artist in the artist program, where you're working directly and submitting your arts through me. Once your art gets approved and you've submitted it in the right way, then I can approve your art, and it'll be visible on the marketplace, where you can click the little gray plus sign, because it's free. You can click on that, and anyone would be able to use your art in their game.
Wait, why did I do that? I jumped off the one that was going where I wanted to go.
The Atari console.
That would be nice. I mean, so the Atari console, according to Seb, can already play the Sandbox, so that's working. Yes. But I wouldn't mind seeing the Atari console in a Sandbox blue with a big white S on it. Lights up. That'd be
well,
that'd be
okay.
Cool.
So to be specific on that, I would need a little more details, so I'm going to answer it in 2 ways. First off, I don't believe that there would be a special physical edition of the console. Despite our partnership is more so to be featured content on their platform. So, and this is talking about the Atari VCS console. So they have this integrated with their Atari token. We've had partnerships with them on multiple brands through the Animoca brands, but we have a very good relationship with Atari. We're making the games like the Roller Coaster Tycoon game will be here in some fashion here in the Sandbox in their big space. So Pong, all those sorts of games. Um, but yes, the idea that you could have an Atari VCS in the Sandbox in the game, I believe that already exists. You can see the Atari console. I think it was featured in one of Aladev's games, where like the cartridge is kind of animated to go in and out of the placement there. So you can definitely add it in game anytime.
To answer Michael Montgomery's question about is the Sandbox a game or is it a game publishing platform? It is both. So the season preseason 0 that we've been talking about is the unveiling of the Sandbox's official in-house game content. So we've got a whole bunch of stuff planned for that. We've talked about it a little bit before. We've shown some sneak peeks of the scientists, the heroes, and the oracles. It's a whole narrative experience that people will be able to play through, and will expand and grow as the seasons go on. So we're really excited to show that to everybody. And alongside of that, it's taking place on the Metaverse map. So we've got our partners who are making content for it, and we're making content in-house for our partners too. So you'll see social hubs and games dedicated to things like Care Bears, Smurfs, Shaun the Sheep, Atari, and that's going to be a whole setup along with the UGC stuff. So all the lands that people have been buying, they will start to be able to publish to their lands and have their games alongside everybody else. So it really is a game publishing platform, but we are making a lot of game content for it ourselves also.
Yes. Yeah, it's interesting because when I think about it, I think of it as kind of like the company Epic Games or Apple's App Store. They have, or we have some proprietary games that are ours, and we are saying, hey, these are our studios, and those people who submitted into the Game Makers Fund, uh, they are funded and become essentially one of our studios. So those games are the games that you'll be able to play for free, play to earn, get some sand if you are a free to play user, and then take that sand to go play the user generated content games. And so when we talk about UGC and owning a land, it is like buying a space in the Apple App Store where your game is here. People can see it, people can go play it, that you can choose as a developer to charge or not charge, and make anything that you like. And you can change it all the time because you're purchasing a space in the App Store, uh, for lack of a better term. So the metaverse is the platform itself. And then,
Yeah.
Michael, you'd asked if you can publish your game elsewhere, put it on your kid's tablet. So the game client, while it will initially launch on PC, will be available later on the mobile, and we intend to also bring it to console. So that will just take some time.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then,
The game player client is going to be um, basically on every modern platform. At least that's the ultimate goal.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, something that sometimes people don't. With all the news going on about virtual real estate, what I don't see people talking about, like in the interview on Fox Business News, what I don't see people talking about is that these are multiplayer capable servers that will spin up multiple instances of your game to fit the load of how many people are playing, and
yeah,
that's a huge deal. I mean, it's a lot of infrastructure and setup to do your own multiplayer server that can instance multiple games going on. So that land is going to be paying for itself in just that ability to run uh,
right. Yeah,
game
it's like
instances for your players.
yeah, it's kind of like not just buying the NFT aspects of it, but also having the server hosting included. And maybe that's something we should talk about more as I happen to be on the marketing team, and I'm going to bring that up. But you know, you don't think about the fact that everyone's game is instanced, um, and you'll be able to have cross-platform chat with people in the metaverse. So, like, if you're in a game and you're having a tough time getting somewhere, finding something, you can just open the chat and say, "Hey, anybody else find this?" And somebody else who's in the same game can say, "Yeah," you know. But even if it's a single player experience, you're getting that kind of multiplayer social aspect that's built in right now. So it's very good.
About the price on land, I believe that price has been locked in sand now, if I remember
Yep.
correctly. So
Mm-hmm.
Joseph might know the number off the top of his head. I don't.
Yeah, I definitely do. It's 1,011 sand. So uh, that is if the land
Oh no!
NFT is
Oh no! They're
sold
hostile.
on its own. Run. Wait, is that a hostile gorilla?
They're hostile gorillas. I thought they were just chilling up
That's
there, and
great.
then I saw the little
That's
icons
hilarious.
popping above their head, and oh, there's a whole underwater world
So
here.
so yeah, 1,011 sand for the land NFT itself. And then if you were to bundle it with other NFTs, then that price varies based on the, I want to say, content producer. That's just the easiest way for me to put it. Um, so then we consult with them and say like, hey, where do you want this and that, and get those bundles out there. So let's see. Not specifically for the game maker contest or anything, but are you able to create assets that have functionality? Like, will you be able to program my asset to do certain things, like make a portal that can teleport you?
I can answer that. And whoa, the physics suddenly sped up. What was up with that? That was really weird. Um, it almost felt like there was a bubble of air in there. So what you're talking about is something that we've actually been discussing internally, and it feels like the game is speeding up. I'm not sure what's going on here. It's very weird. Let me through. No, the gorilla's got me. Okay. So what you're talking about is kind of connected to the preset system, which is currently disabled for total reworking and will not be coming back till at least June. But hopefully it will be a much more robust and stable system. So the presets are kind of like you can set up a single asset or a collection of assets that are all parent and child connected together in the editor. And what you can do with that is, for the moment, that gets saved to, well, not for the moment because it's currently disabled, but when it was working, it got saved to a text file on your near your settings for the game maker as kind of like its own little library of information. So what the asset is, what it does, what it's connected to, and you could place that in any of your games as it got stored in your library as just another asset, but it's actually a preset. One of the things that we've been discussing in staff is the possibility of turning those presets into NFTs also, so you would be able to sell those on the market. So you could have an asset, assign behaviors and components to it, and bundle that all together as its own NFT. There's a lot of discussion that has to happen about how that's going to work, whether you need to own the NFTs or if this is more like a recipe, which will source the NFTs from other people. You know, it'll look at the marketplace for this asset being available for sale in order to complete the recipe. So it's something that we're looking into. It's not officially promised yet, but it is a possibility that we're considering. And I think that would be very useful for people who want to have pre-built game mechanics where you could sell like a complicated boss with multiple parts that fall off as you defeat him or things like that. So all sorts of fun stuff.
There's 3 questions that should be pretty quick that I want to hit all of them. First, how do you get sand without paying $50 for gas? LOL. Michael, you can get sand through a whole bunch of different exchanges and then transfer that sand out of the exchange into your wallet. Um, that would be the way to avoid any type of gas fee uh, for the transaction. I know if you use a decentralized finance option like a Uniswap or a 1inch or any of those companies, you can absolutely get sand. But yeah, you will have an on chain fee because the transaction is verified on the blockchain. So um, then, do I need to own land in order to play? No, you do not. This tool right now that Alex is playing this game with is free. If you want to test games that people have in the test environment that you can upload to the gallery, you can play the games that are uploaded to the gallery. That's free. Not only that, but when the client is ready, the games, again, many of them will be free. You won't need to pay anything. You won't need to own any land. You can just play. But you'll need a special client, which is not publicly available yet, but will be available soon. You were so close to getting in that
I was
tree,
there.
Alex.
These gorillas are really strong.
I mean,
They have almost
that's
500 health.
that's like real life. You know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah. I mean,
Gorillas are gonna
I
mess you up.
real life, I wouldn't go running with a sword at a gorilla under any normal circumstances.
And Integ, this isn't the third question, but I'm reading them in order. You can definitely get categorized games. I'm sure that'll be something that we build in the future. Currently, we have started recategorizing the arts, the assets, all those. So I would expect that the same thing will happen with games as we get that way. But that requires a rework on the map. And
It's a nice day out.
you get the content creator picking a category. I
it.
love it. We're all vehicle noises these days. You know what I mean? Me too. I had the
Oops, all
ambulance
vehicle
earlier.
noises.
Okay. And then Arctic. I specifically clicked this one so I didn't miss this. It says any comment on how some users grab multiple lands during the public land sale, but many of us couldn't grab one. So I have been on both sides of this personally
Me
because
too.
we don't get special access to buying the lands or anything. We have to buy them at the same time as everyone else, even though we work with the sandbox for the sandbox, right? So what happens is most often I would tell somebody before the land sale, restart your router. I don't know why, but other than the fact that it is more optimized for a fast connection with no like cache data in your router. I had to do that in the last land sale in order to just even see the map refresh. It was my router's fault. Um, Secondly, internet speed applies. Also, computer speed applies, and then your click speed, and all those things coming together, making sure that you were logged in ahead of time. All those kinds of things will affect it because the sale, with the exception of the auctions that we do, the sales are just like concert tickets, right? Like it's first come first serve. Come in, who can click it, who can go, right? And once you have your booking, then you need to make sure that that transaction processes in time. So you have to make sure, in my opinion, to do a little research ahead on your etherscan.io. You can see the estimated cost of a transaction on Uniswap. That's roughly what the cost of a transaction to process any good smart contract there, at least on our website. So that's a good estimate to see what the gas fee would be. And then for me personally, I turn the gas fee up a little bit more. So I'm paying more gas, but my transaction gets done quickly. The object gets minted into my account, into my wallet. Um, let's see. Can you sell assets for fractions of sand? Just wondering. Yes, Greenview Media, you can. So, sand. Okay, so there's a term that you probably know called NFT that stands for non fungible token. It means that one of these is one of these. It can never be broken down into smaller parts. But an ERC20 token, like Sand is, like Ethereum is, they can be broken down into smaller parts, like change of your dollar, right? So you can go all the way with Sand to the 18th decimal, which is like 0.00000 all the way out 18 decimals away. So it can definitely be sold for fractions of sand. If you see sand price appreciation over time, don't worry about that because you can make prices whatever you like. And then if you always want to make sure that people find your game worth whatever it is in their local fiat if they're just coming into the ecosystem, or maybe you don't think like that as a developer. You think about the fact that when we do seasonal rewards where people are earning sand, they will earn a certain amount of sand. And once you know how much that is, then you can figure out what it costs if you want to have people pay every time they play your game or buying your assets or whatnot. So lots of things to think about. But the assets that were removed from the recent premium land sale were burned. Yes. So if you were like, when we had the last land sale, we had it in kind of two waves. There was the first wave where you have an opportunity to buy it bundled with the other assets, where you get your land and you get, I use this example each time, like the Sand X rocket ship and the Spaceman and the Spaceman helmet. Let's say that was the bundle. So you get the land and those other three assets. After the sale ended, that 1 week, the remaining lands were disassociated from the other assets and just sold as the lands, and they sold out in 60 seconds. So all those other assets that weren't sold were burned. So if you own some of those NFTs, they are even more rare now than they were at the start of the sale. So good
I
on
don't
you.
know if you caught me chuckling on the last game. I saw some weird looking birds and realized they were the Avenged Sevenfold backpacks
Nice.
flying around.
Nice.
I was like, yes.
And those Avenged Sevenfold backpacks were just available in that sale. So
Yep.
those backpacks are even more rare. You're seeing it right here.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many there
see.
are total now. I was glad I was able to snag one. Oh, this doesn't go anywhere. Okay, so most of the games that we've picked up look like they're works in progress. There's some very cool terrain going on in a lot of these. So keep up the good work, everybody. I don't know if we played. I didn't see in the chat if we played anybody who's watching now. But we are getting close to wrapping up here. So remember, Wednesdays we play games, and Wednesdays I want you to show me your games. Let me play your game. Tell me where your game is. Tell me what it is. I think we have got a little bit of time for a giveaway.
Yes, I had the link. It was already ready, but I never put it in the chat. But it's in the chat now, so you can see the link here. It went everywhere, but it didn't go over on Twitch. What a jerk! I'm gonna paste it again.
Twitch usually is the one that works reliably.
It was like, no. I don't know. Okay, there we go. So I see the link going out. Make sure that you click on this link if you want to be eligible to win a Wizzy the Blue NFT, which is only given away on these live streams. And I actually jumped into a new streamer. I saw a new streamer out there. They're probably here in the chat right now. Streaming Cody Zine was streaming creation content with VoxEdit yesterday, and I jumped in. And I was like, wow, they're doing a great job. They're interacting with the chat. They're having fun, making really cool stuff. I did a Wizzy's Blue giveaway on that stream as well, but these are limited to 200 copies ever. So when they're gone, and you can only ever win one. So make sure you fill out this form to be eligible for that win. And if you're live streaming, tag me on Twitter at TheVisionEX. No spaces, no underscores. Tag me and say, hey, I'm live. Come check out my content because, like I said, Cody Zine's content was great yesterday. Can't wait to see it. I know that they just started, but they said they're going to stream on Tuesdays and Fridays. Worth checking them out. They're making monochrome. I think that's the name of the branding for this. It was at some point a movie, a comic book. These exist. You can watch that movie on Amazon, and they're translating it into the metaverse in this game. It's a super cool concept. It looks really nice. Can't wait to see more of that. But I'll do giveaways on your streams potentially. I just got to know they exist, and then I can jump in. And I do it at random. I don't do it for everyone, but when it's really fun and people are having fun, I love to do that. So let's see.
Well, I just pulled up Integ's NFT museum. There was a question in the chat here, though, I wanted to take a look at. So is there a limit to the number of assets that can have a behavior in one game? I was making a life-size tornado out of rocks and boulders with the bird behavior. Came out awesome, by the way. It sounds awesome. Just I I'm picturing it because I know what you're describing. It seemed like not all of the assets would spin though. Thoughts. So, what might have been happening? As far as I know, there's no limit. There might be a a theoretical processing limit where the game engine just goes no. I feel like it would probably throw an error at that point. I've never hit that, and I've played some games that have a lot of
Yeah.
behaviors on them.
Yeah, I would
So
say that for me, and I don't know if this is the case, but maybe your objects were too close with collision on, because I think um, if you did it where it was like no collision, but then also attached like a calculator asset that when in proximity dealt damage, then I don't know how you want to work this tornado, but I assume you want it to hurt when a player walks into it. Um, so then you could make all the objects have no collision and possibly avoid something like that. But again, I don't know exactly how you made it, so it's hard to give input in that.
mhm. Yeah, and another thing is that the bird behavior is affected by the power level of the asset. So, case of something like a simple rock, it's not going to have any gems or catalysts on it, which would enable the bird behavior to have a wider range. So that's something to take a look at. The best way to troubleshoot it, I would say, is if you can if you can locate which assets are not working, um, then you can kind of try to isolate them and see if there's something incorrect with their behavior. It's possible that maybe it just they missed the behavior, when you went to apply the bird behavior to everything, you might have just missed one or two of them. Um, that can be done pretty easily by drag selecting the whole group. If they're kind of like all in the same place, drag select over all of them and see if the bird behavior comes up, or if it says like multiple behaviors, meaning some would have bird behavior, some might have none behavior, things like that. You could also try um, using the what's the name of the component? It's like the VFX component or something like that. It gives a glow to the object, and you can use that to kind of almost tag your objects visually. So when you're playing the game, you can see that, oh, hey, all the ones that are glowing green, or I guess they would glow white probably. All the ones that are glowing white look like they're behaving correctly, and try to use that as a way to troubleshoot like which things are working and which things aren't. Use it as like a checklist almost. Yeah. Just
Cool.
thinking on my toes of how to troubleshoot a situation like that. So Intech's got a whole bunch of cool NFTs in here. Got some nice photos. Eventually, we want to have kind of a oh, I was gonna suggest this. I didn't actually try interacting with it. I was like, you can make it so that way these say what they are, and you already did it, which is awesome. I just didn't know that I could interact with them. So maybe somebody who doesn't know that, kind of at the
Excuse me.
entrance, you could have a sign right here that has that message pop up automatically and says interact with the plaques like this to see more information, and
Hmm. Yeah, that's a great idea.
and then somebody would be able to do that. This is super cool that you have all this information in here.
I want to real quick just make the announcement that over on twitch.tv, Lamarak X is the winner of the Wizzy the Blue NFT today. I rolled on
Woo!
my little RNG meter and it gave me 27 out of 148 entry for today's stream. So come back if you have not won. You can join us again on Saturday,
Nice.
on Monday, on Wednesday, of course. We do it at 2100 GMT. But oh, this is really nice. I love these displays. This is just like, it's really genuinely like a museum.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Or like an art showcase for sure. But we'll do these streams on Monday and Saturday. They are at 1800 UTC or on Wednesday here, 2100 UTC as well. So you can join us live if you're watching later over on YouTube, or if you're watching the VOD on Twitch. Make sure you get in here. Once again, on Saturday, we are going to do 2 NFT giveaways. One with the Wizzy the Blue NFT that we do on these streams each and every week, and another with a nice box of NFTs. And again, I'm going to butcher the name because it's in French, but presented in partnership with Les Collectionneurs. Look at that. I'm so bad at I could probably do it if I like really like, in the throat. Like I want to see Sebastian or Amy watch this and just laugh at me.
Is this a reference to Damien Hirst down here? Is this like the shark? The shark that was all like split up or the displayed in formaldehyde? I'm curious. I'm loving this. This is great. I did just a super tiny gallery, but this is more like what I want to do when I have time. I was just wondering why the fish are like sideways and upside down and stuff. But yeah, this is super cool, and I love how expansive it is, and that it has like the scope of, or like the scale of like a real museum or large art gallery. It looks like you've got a lot more space down here that will eventually have stuff on display. So I'm excited to see what more you do with this. But yeah, so go check out Integ's gallery on the gallery, the gallery on the gallery. And I think it was page 3 or 4.
Yeah, and if you're
page 3
again, if you want us to play your games, make sure that you send it to us. Send us a title, and just say like, "Hey, it's over here." It is helpful if you can tell us roughly what page it was on. But if you don't know exactly, that's all good. Just make sure you get the title in there, who you are, or what your name displays as when we click on it, so that we can be sure to play your game on this stream. We'll give you the feedback that can help make your game better, increase your chances of potentially winning that game jam, or just prepare you for the Metaverse launch.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching. You have a great rest of your week, and I will see you on Saturday.
See you later. Let me know when you fade it out. It's a party, guys. I'm still here. I'm here with you. We're partying. We're hanging out. Join Andy Ritchie's stream, by the way. There's just a ton of good content on there, teaching everybody how to do everything high detail, high intensity, high fun, chilling. All right.